Such is life. Hey, girl.
P5. Welcome to P5 again. If you watched before, the couple of videos we did, we're shortening things up because
it's too long.
It was way too long, and editing takes a really long time. It takes a really super long time. I have much appreciation for people online who do
big ups.
Cool editing stuff now.
Video editing.
Yeah. A Bevo big ups to video editing people. Especially people who edit their own videos.
They do a lot.
It's kind of crazy just like watching footage of yourself and stuff you've already said like 4 times over in order to like cut things together right. It's really weird. Feels weird. So yeah, we're going to do it shorter. We're just going to talk about movies and TV shows on this channel now that we've been into. And also something else that we'll be doing.
If you've seen in the past when I did discuss briefly some salamanders, but I would stick around because we're going to be talking about another little guy today.
Yes. And the hint for what animal we're going to be talking about is... Sick. This episode we're going to be talking about the new Avatar, not the blue people, the Blue Arrow kid. So,
the Blue Arrow
yeah,
kid.
We're going to talk about that, the new series, and then we're going to talk about Dune Part 1 and 2. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, we have a little bit of an age gap. I was born in 97 and you were born
I was born in 93.
But I grew up watching Avatar with my younger sister, and it was so special to me. I love it so much, and it's very silly to me that I didn't know it was an American show.
Yeah, true.
I kind of thought it was just another anime that was like dubbed over. And then when I found out about it, I was like, wow, something I can be patriotic about. Cool.
They made something good here.
But no, it's a pretty big part of my childhood, as is many others. I'm sure you were you like teenagers?
Yeah, and I watched part of it when I was younger, like random episodes, and then when I was a little bit older, like 18, 17, I watched like the whole series.
Got it.
For the first time, and then since then I've watched it I don't even know how many times.
Same. But yeah, the movie that happened shortly after, we're not talking about that. That didn't happen.
That was
that didn't exist.
Pee poo poo.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, I would say
this
like
Netflix series.
Yeah, the Netflix series, like an initial, like I don't know, rating is that it falls neatly between Pee Pee Poo Poo Land of the movie and really awesomeness of the animated show. Yeah, like I could recommend someone watching this one.
Yeah.
Whereas I would not recommend the M. Night Shyamalan movie, and I don't even like pronouncing the names right or anything. It's all just not great.
Ong!
Ong! Yeah, so they can't even pronounce the main character. There's a couple other ones that they pronounce weird too. I can't remember. I haven't seen it so long.
They didn't call him Ong in this one.
Some of the part writing's a little cheesy, I will say.
Like script wise?
Yeah, like some of that. There's a couple lines where I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I don't know. It is based on like a kid's show. So.
I'm excited to see. Well, not just to be like, oh, I'm excited for the next season, and not talk about the first season at all, but I am excited to see the actors and their roles, or like they get more comfortable like with their characters. You could see that like throughout just the first season. They got like comfortable with what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of pressure under that. I can't imagine being one, a child actor to begin with, two, one that has to follow up the attempt.
Yeah, and then also like a character that's like super beloved by so many people. Yeah.
So my critiques of the acting, I think I'm gonna hold off until I see the other seasons because I think they're gonna do a lot of growing, and any critique I have is just gonna be one, who am I to say that? Yeah,
true.
Two, they're child actors. I thought it was great. Some cheesiness, I agree. There's some lines that
I think Katara's acting kind of bothers me a little bit.
I'm hoping she'll get there.
I'm hoping she'll get better. Also, I don't think I don't know, I feel like she didn't come off as much of like a motherly figure and kind of like a hard ass like she was in the show, or like the original show, so it was like that bothered me a little bit. But some of the moments she had were still really cool. Like the whole thing with the
We
ice.
need to take a break. I found a tick on Poppy.
No.
It's urgent. I have to take it off of her immediately.
Okay.
I'll be back. Okay. Got the tick off of Poppy. Poppy threw up, and I stepped in Fizzy's poop.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh. God. It was just like a little dot of it, but moving on.
Okay.
We'll have to censor them.
Censor the dogs. I don't know if they're. I think it might be right above that.
Perfect.
line. So yeah, we were talking about acting wise. Yeah, I thought Katara's was kind of the weakest, but also I just maybe that I might have been rubbed the wrong way by her characterization not being like exactly the way I wanted it to. I thought Zuko's was probably
spot on.
The strongest. Yeah, he did so good at playing his character. Even his voice was like.
I asked you, I think I asked in general, like I thought it was the voice actor originally. I was like, is that the actual one? But no, he's so, like much older now, I'm sure.
Yeah, he did great though. Yeah, super good.
He definitely has seen the show. I'm sure they all have.
Yeah, I'm excited for the coming books where he, his whole character growth. Because obviously, I feel like in the whole show, he probably just has the best character growth in general, even in the original series.
He's pretty good art.
I'm excited to see some of the changes in costume, because they changed the costumes a lot throughout the season. Because I don't know, I liked a lot of them, but then I thought others of them were a little on the cheesy side. Yeah.
Oh, Yue.
Yeah, Yue's wig was kind of rough. Also,
how many shows has Netflix done now with white-haired people? Okay, we're gonna Game of Thrones. Okay. How...
Netflix didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
That was HBO.
Okay. Rewind, but still. Hollywood, let me say in general. I know there's very different HBO to Netflix. My point, I still want to make it because that wig and that budget do not make sense.
Yeah, it was rough.
I am always looking at wigs, and
it reminds
I know
me
I
of
don't have.
I don't know. It looks like a play wig.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
And it kind of reminded me of like the wigs that you'd see like a little girl would have with like her Barbie set or whatever, where the hair has that like plasticky sheen to it, kind of. That's kind of what it reminded me of.
It reminded me of
all
of the House of Usher.
Oh God.
The sister.
Yeah, we'll put a little screenshot of that in there.
That
the sister
hideous
in the House of Usher.
That is the worst hairpiece I've ever seen in my life.
It makes her head look like bulbous. It's so strange. I mean, I guess this one didn't make her head look bulbous because like it was so tall.
Oh, it did.
But I mean,
it looked like
it just wasn't sitting right on her.
Her hairline was not matched. I don't know what happened there, but it was not good. And yeah, maybe I was expecting some Targaryen, but that's only because it's clearly possible.
Yeah.
Okay. It hurt me because going ahead ahead of watching the show, I heard that people were saying the costumes were very costumey, and I'm always on the lookout for costumes that are costumey, or wardrobe that's costumey, and sets that are very setty, which I didn't really see much of in this one.
No.
I really liked it. Even
cool.
like I was kind of worried about the Fire Lord there, his
Ozai's like throne room and stuff.
That looking like
those look cool actually. Yeah.
They looked really good.
Yeah.
But the costumes, I was ready for them to look very costumey, which I think they did fine.
Yeah, there's a few like
just the wig.
Aang's like whole getup, especially in the beginning, to me looked a little too like clean and bright, which I think maybe they were trying to go for to make it look very, very close to the cartoon, but in like the more realistic looking world, it kind of seemed like, I don't know, his whole getup should have been like a little bit less saturated of fabrics. Like they were just so brightly colored. Like Iroh's, I feel like Iroh's thing like did a really good job of having a little bit toned down of a color scheme so it looked like a believable thing that people would wear, kind of.
I agree. I also think they dulled down his character though, and I'm a little angry about
Who, Iroh? Yeah. I still liked him a lot, and I still think him and Zuko were like the best part of the show, probably. But yeah, they didn't make him as like
quippy,
jolly and quippy and stuff. Yeah, I mean, he had a couple little spots where he like made the jokes about the tea and pie show.
Which I love.
But yeah, they didn't.
Still.
Yeah, I'm hoping in the next couple seasons, especially since they're gonna be like outcasts and stuff rather than being in the actual Fire Nation. Well, maybe, I don't know, they'll play up that, and hopefully they'll take some people's feedback, because I'm sure they're seeing all of my feedback.
I matter. That's why I am another person on a podcast.
The effects and stuff, really cool, I will have to say. All the special effects and everything, super cool. I like how Appa and Momo look.
Oh,
they're
I was
so cute.
afraid Momo wasn't going to be there for a
Yeah,
minute.
they had introduced him a little differently than they did in the original, so we were like, at first we were like, oh god, where is he? Where's our little boy? Where's our little boy? And then he showed up and we were like, oh thank god. But
and also I totally forgot that he spoiler alert? Did we say that?
Yeah, maybe do like a
Watch it by now.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's a part where I thought Momo got hurt real bad, and I was like, "Oh my god, is that canon?" Freaking out. Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it totally is, and I was horrified for a moment, but
yeah,
all good. I will say I saw a silly little TikTok about how Toph is going to be potentially different instead of. Okay, so back up. This is wild. You know how she learned from the Badger moles?
Yeah.
Her bending abilities came from learning from the
Yeah.
Badger moles, the ways of the Badger moles.
Because they're blind like she is.
They're blind like she is, and they tunnel through the vibrations, you know? And in the show, this Netflix adaptation, they said something about feelings and how they navigate with feelings. And I saw this TikTok that someone ran with it and said, well, this means that Toph could potentially be feeling-based bending. And I was like,
weird.
If they're gonna incorporate it, it better not change her character.
Yeah,
drastically.
true. Yeah, she better still be like a mega
so
badass.
Mad. Well, yeah, they can't do that because they have Legend of Korra, and you know they can't screw up too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, just for spoilery-esque purposes, I don't like how they did the Cave of the Lovers very much. That was kind of a cop-out a little bit, but
I do like that we got another gay couple though.
That is cool. Yeah, that
cool. Was fun.
It's I like it. It's good, but also it kind of annoyed me a little bit. It's still a good episode, and the Badger moles look pretty cool.
They do look really
cool.
Overall, I could recommend it to friends. I will always recommend the anime before I
I would definitely watch the original one. I would still watch this one. It's fun, and they definitely try to like shove a lot more in because it's only 8 episodes, but it tries to cover like the first 22 or 24 or whatever it is, the first book of the show.
I'm just glad they secured season 2 and 3 because we know Netflix and they like to chop it off after 3.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they kind of had to shove it all in
there.
there.
So, but I mean, there's a couple episodes where it was pretty cool how they incorporated some of the elements of the episodes that they weren't focusing a full episode on in, so they could still get those characters and some of those like plot points in there. It was pretty cool. Like Omashu, they did a lot of cool stuff with. Other than I do want to say that I kind of hate how they did King Boomy. When I think back about it, he's probably like I feel like the biggest up, honestly, of the season when I think about it, because I really like King Boomy in the original show, and just I don't know, the whole thing, how he was just kind of like playing a game with Aang, and I don't know how he seemed kind of petty almost. I didn't like how they did that in this one.
He played it off in the cartoon that, you know, it was just part of his test. They didn't really make that clear in this one.
And it didn't really have any stakes.
Purpose,
you know?
yeah.
Because in the original, he's holding Katara and Dum Dum Boomerang Boy. Sokka, yes. They're holding Katara and Sokka. He's like holding them hostage kind of, and you know, making Aang think that the whole crystals are gonna like kind of take him over.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be stuck in crystal forever, basically. And it gives it like some feeling of stakes, and that like that's just
was like, I'm gonna squish myself, and I'm a crazy old man.
Yeah, he's like, there's no stakes at all in this.
it.
So it seems kind of like it was very contrived seeming to me, and it made his character seem way more like petty and kind of shitty. The effects and stuff were really cool for the episode still, and like all the little set pieces were still really cool. It's just the part writing for him was not good. It's like, and I think it's because they were trying to do so many things in that one episode, because they were trying to do the stuff with Katara and Sokka doing like others, which was like covering 2 or 3 other storylines at the same time, while he was covering like 2 or 3 other storylines. So like they couldn't. Yeah, so I don't know. It all made sense in its own right, but yeah, the part with Boomy, it just made him not as likable as a character. Like it kind of makes him seem more like a shithead. To me, that's like the biggest detractor from the season, was how they characterized Boomy. But overall, I'd say I'd give it a good. I'm gonna say 6.5, because I don't really want to quite give it a 7, because that seems like a little too good to me, maybe.
Sure. I think I'm gonna go out of 5. I'll give it a 3 cabbages being pushed on a cart by Momo out of 5.
I feel that. It's a solid rating.
Thank you.
Sandworm times. That's our little sandworm. We're going to talk about parts 1 and 2 a little bit, just because I just watched the first part. You had already watched it, right?
No, I had.
Oh, that was the first time you watched it too? Okay, so yeah. That was
I'm
the first
brand new to the Dune universe. I am so excited, and I don't care if this brings hate on me. I'm gonna read the book, or books. I'm gonna read the books, but I have a revelation I need to reveal. I have never seen Star Wars, really. I've seen, they've been on, my family is a Star Wars family somehow, but I've still never sat down and watched them. I saw one of them in theaters when I was a kid, so I've seen like a movie here or there, but I don't really know the storyline.
Yeah.
I saw a chart of like comparisons of things that were in the Dune universe, and then what things may have been inspired by Dune in potentially Star Wars. I am so ready to make this my personality for a little bit, dive in, and expose Star Wars for everything that it copied Dune. Everything that it ripped off of Dune.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I think
it seems like cheesy Dune.
My revelation,
looking back at it.
This is the reason I've never seen Star Wars. I was meant to discover the Dune universe before seeing the Star Wars franchise in its entirety.
Yeah, because, we discovered that. So the original Dune book came out in 65, and then the original Star Wars didn't come out until like 78 or 79 or something like that.
And I know I'm just another youngin' that's way late to the game, and it's just, this is old news, but I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't realize
that he had taken any inspiration from anything.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, because, I have always heard that Dune is like the sci-fi equivalent of Lord of the Rings almost. It's like the big epic that is like...
I've heard that really now. I never heard of it before.
Oh, really? I had heard of it and people recommended it to me, and that's why I had a copy of it already.
Yeah.
But I just never got around to reading it. And then this movie came out, or the first movie came out, and everyone said it was awesome.
I don't know why I never saw it when it came out, but I'm so excited that we just got to watch them back to back.
I didn't go and see it because I was excited for it, and then I heard that the story just stopped in the middle, and the other one wasn't going to come out for 1.5, 2 years, and I was like,
strategic.
I'm just going to wait, and I'm going to maybe read the book if I get to it, and then watch both parts. I never read the book. I've started to now that we've watched part 2, and it's really cool so far, even only like a few pages in, like 20 pages in or something still. Yeah, they get into the political stuff already more than the book has. There's like this interplanetary, than the movies. Like there's like an interplanetary like caste system that they don't really mention in the show.
And there's a dictionary in the back, right?
Yeah, there's appendixes. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of appendixes. There's like 3 or 4 of them that like explain language and a whole bunch of different stuff like that. I really liked the movies. They were super cool.
I don't have any critiques. I don't know what to critique. I need to read the book and then revisit. But like I said, I'm going to be full of myself and say that I am an important opinion on this because I have never seen Star Wars and I haven't been like taken aback by a movie or series in a really long time. And I don't know if it's just because of the global panty there or what, but I haven't seen something and it hasn't drawn me in like this in a long time. So
it does have a very
excited.
Cool, unique sort of aesthetic and feel to it, even for like sci-fi, you know, like the whole deserty kind of thing, the beige and sepia kind of feel that's everywhere.
And I'm ready for studios to start revamping or reallocating their budgets, because what they did with those sandworms, it looked good. And their budget was not that big.
No, and that
people need to get their shit figured out.
A video of Dave Bautista, the guy who played Drax.
Baron something.
Yeah.
No, the Baron's in the pool.
Yeah, that's the big guy. It's like his nephew, who's like kind of the main antagonist at first, and then he kind of switches over.
Berserk boy.
Yeah,
Berserker boy.
But I don't know. He was just talking about how different it was acting in Marvel movies versus being in the Dune movies, because there were so many practical sets and practical effects in the Dune movies, so it was so much easier for him to like really get into character and believe he was in the place that he was in.
Make it real.
You know, whereas like he's like in the Marvel movies, it's a lot of like working with CG characters and CG props and stuff like that. So it's like you have to use your imagination a lot more to get yourself into the world.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, I do wish they kind of fleshed out, I don't know, Fade Ralpha and that guy a little bit more, because it seemed like, I mean, they were just kind of like antagonists, and that was, you know, they were just like, they were bad guys, they're bad guys, and it, like the reason for them being bad guys.
Harkin? Yeah,
the Harkonnens, I don't know, like they were just bad guys because they were bad guys. I don't know.
Fizzy!
Oh, Fizzy Pup. She's playing with a toy over
I'm
there.
excited to see, well, hopefully in the next movie, maybe their people be represented as a people and not just an antagonist. Because you know there's some sort of society there. I mean, there was female...
Yeah. And obviously it's like a f***ed-up society. Yeah. It seems like it's very, like, brutal. But it's kind of hard to tell from the movies. It's very nebulous seeming, so... Which, I mean, obviously they kind of had to do. The movies themselves were still 3 hours long a piece, basically. So even with the glossing over they did, they still had like massive epics of movies, and I don't know, the same kind of thing with Lord of the Rings. You can't put every single detail into a movie that you do in a book, you know? There's just
not possible.
Words are, you know, they just explain more than visuals do, you know, static visuals. It's just that, you know, that can only do so much. But what they did do, they did an awesome job. You want to get into the universe. Fizzy Bob! Fizzy, hey.
It's a little fast. Come here. Come be famous.
Come here.
You're a star.
Yeah, get up here. Come here.
She did this earlier. She can do it.
You can do it. Come on. Come on. Well, I don't even know exactly what I was saying before.
You were asking if I had any comparisons.
Between the first and the second movie. Did you have any
thoughts?
Any thoughts on it? Because there was like 2 years in between the movies. We just kind of watched them within like a week of each other because we knew the second one.
Honestly, not really. It felt consistent. It
was really cool.
Good. I really want to read the books so I can feel a little bit more articulate.
Yeah, it'll be cool to watch that, because eventually I want to watch both of them within like a day or two of each other after we've read at least the first book or two.
And
I think it'll be
my god, if I lived in LA or anywhere that was casting extras, I would rub sand in my eyes and to be in the background. I don't even need to be on camera. I just want to be a part of something like that, creating something that cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
It was really cool watching them so close to each other, because it was almost like I just watched 2 giant episodes of like a really crazy season of a TV show, or I don't know, one continuous movie that I just had like a I don't know, a few days intermission in between
Yeah.
almost, you know, because it really did, like, I'm excited to watch both parts like within really close time of each other, because it really does seem like a really great just continuous story, and I'm glad that I kind of waited, honestly, between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you didn't really know who was in the movie. I know when Florence Pugh came up, you were like,
Yeah, I
You
did.
didn't
I did
realize-
not know she was gonna be in the movie.
I definitely have been
Yeah.
all over the production of this movie. I know
The little
know
bit
it.
with
Anya Taylor-Joy.
yes, with her just popping up for a second. That TikTok you sent was pretty hilarious. Now, maybe I'll put a little reference to it in the video if I can find a snip of it. But oh my god, it's so funny.
I'm excited for the next one.
Super cool. I would definitely
Go
recommend
Dune.
going and watching those. We'll probably recommend the books once we read them, so that'll be in a future. We'll probably do like a future, I don't know, bonusy special
spotlight,
episode, yeah, where we talk about books and the movies kind of compared, or at least the first book and the first two movies, because that's what part 1 and 2 covers, is just the first book. And then apparently they're going to do Dune Messiah, which is kind of weird because I think Dune Messiah is the third book.
Yeah,
I think it's
they're trying to...
I think it's Dune, Children of Dune, Dune Messiah, and then I can't remember what the next one.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure they're just trying to pull Star Wars.
Maybe.
Jump forward in the timeline for a little bit, come back later, but again, I don't know
they could,
the
true.
order of the...
Or maybe they're
books.
trying to do Children and Messiah both in one movie.
I
Really
cannot
cool.
wait for the game.
A lot of
for
cool cinematics.
Everything.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a game.
Everything.
That's gonna be like a multiplayer sort of big, I don't know, big thing playing against everyone and stuff. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna be.
Yeah. High hopes. That's what I have.
I hope it's good. It'll be fun to like ride around in the dragonfly ornithopters and
I just want to ride a
go on the
sandworm.
sandworms or stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder how they're gonna do that. That'll be really cool.
There's gonna be some sort of trigger mechanics, and I'm so excited to.
Oh yeah, with to hook
Yeah.
on to the different.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that'll
I'm
be cool.
pumped. I really like the Dune universe. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's cool. We're gonna get into it. We'll probably talk about it again here. This is if you wanted to know, anyone who hasn't watched it, this is our puppies. This is Puppy Gil, the Puppy Gil puppy pup, and this is
Poppy's crumbly.
and this is Fizzy.
Crumbly. Crusty?
This is
She's
the Fizzy pup.
crusty.
She was crinkling with the crinkly toy over there a few minutes ago.
You have burdocks on you. Poppy had a tick. You guys are falling apart.
We just have one more thing to talk about.
Oh, yes. I must bless you with these new facts. Oh, I'm so sorry, Puppy. So have you heard of... I know you've heard of. Have you heard of this tiny little orange creature called the pumpkin toadlet?
Here's a picture of it.
Now this little guy, here's a picture to scale,
Oh my god, it's tiny, yeah.
and he's gonna be right there, hopefully. That's how big they are. These little guys, if you haven't noticed, Jake and I learned how to make their exact call throughout this episode. They do sound exactly like that. It's not the most interesting thing about them, however. They cannot jump. They have the ability to jump. They cannot land those jumps. They are so teeny tiny, and their ears are so teeny tiny. Their inner ear, their
it's
ear
the balance
structure
thing, right?
is so small that it doesn't function like other animals or our ear does with, like, you know, the liquid moving around. I don't know the exact mechanic. They can't sense their equilibrium like we can.
Yeah.
So when they jump, they don't know where they're landing. They just land.
Yeah, and they just go all flippy floppy all over the
So
place.
hopefully we can maybe put
Yeah,
picture
I know
that.
there's videos we've seen. Before.
So these pumpkin toadlets, yeah, they can't jump. They can jump, they just can't land. I would like to see them in zero gravity because I've seen some other frogs in zero gravity,
Oh.
and I think maybe they could be in their element there. So I would like to share, first of all, I forgot to say their scientific name.
Stop that.
Brachycephalus ephipium. Brachycephalus ephipium is their scientific name. They are, again, adorable. They call out to each other. Their lovely little call that we've been hearing. They will call that out, and no one will hear them. They can't hear each other.
Right, because they're deaf, because of their ears are f***ed up, right?
Their ears are too tiny, so they just call into the darkness or light. I think they're diurnal, so they come. The frogs are diurnal during the rainy season. Generally, they walk about on the leaf litter, but will find a low perch if the humidity approaches when. Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay, so they're diurnal. But yeah, I would love to see them in person. They're so cute. And that's your animal fact.
Yeah, tiny little pumpkin froggy frogs.
That were really, really just left behind by evolution, but somehow they're still here.
They're still around.
They're still here.
It shows you one of many times that evolution just chose the path of least resistance and the lowest common denominator in order to make something to survive.
What is that adaptation
Literally,
for?
evolution is like a Roomba that just like it just like goes towards the wall and the wall's in the way, so it's just like, okay, I'll just like turn around, keep going in whatever direction. Doesn't matter what's in the way in the other direction. As long as the wall that I'm just about to bump into is not there anymore, we're chill.
In conclusion, pumpkin toadlets are the Roombas of the amphibian world. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. P5! Say bye, puppies.
P5!
Bye, puppies.